Alright, y'all, we're about to get started. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on social media to stay up to date with everything Colorado sports. Let's make this show the best part of your week. Let's go!
Watch out your shoulder, nigga. Shit get real on here, fool. I might swerve in that corner, whoa, whoa. Bitch, hold on tight, cause I tweaking this bitch, I letting shit go. And I heard
What is up? What is up? Hello, Colorado, AHRR Network, Season 9. Hello, Colorado, Episode 9. Happy New Year, everyone. We are back, and we are better. Shout out to the producer, Damo in the back. Shout out to everyone involved. Shout out my viewers who waited the 10 minutes. Love you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Send me a superstar. Leave me a comment, something. But we are going to get into it. Very, very good weekend. As the Broncos, where were you 10 years ago? Have made the playoffs for the first time since 2015, 2016, when they won it all. Where were you 10 years ago? I just graduated high school. Now I'm showing my age, but that's how long it's been. Some of you guys used to be 20 10 years ago. Now you're up there. It's your big age. You're in your 30s now. 10 years, the Broncos are in. Exciting. It's a turn of the season for Colorado sports. It wasn't looking so good back in November. We had the Nuggets struggling. We had the Avs struggling. We didn't know if the Broncos would get to this point. But they got there. And that's all you need. All you need to do is punch your ticket to the dance. And you never know what can happen on any given Sunday. Season 9, Episode 9, Hello Colorado, starts right now. The Denver Broncos have to play the Buffalo Bills next week in the wild card playoffs after putting a beat down on the Kansas City Chiefs. Granted, the Kansas City Chiefs, they didn't play their starters. They were at the airport for 4 hours because they had airport issues. That's not our problem. All right? You play to win the game. Hello. And the Broncos won 38-0 beatdown. Bo Nix, 3,800 yards on the season. When people in other states like Seattle or Washington or wherever they were talking about Bo Nix not working out, they were saying they can't believe people in Denver were saying, "In Bo we trust. Let's Bo." But he brought us somewhere that only Peyton Manning had before. And he gets Josh Allen, front runner for MVP. Remind you, the Denver Broncos, they beat the Buffalo Bills 24-22 last year. And that team's nowhere near as good as this team is. And the Buffalo Bills, granted their record probably says different, they're not as good as they were last year, personnel-wise. They lost a lot of pieces. The only reason they're the number 2 seed in the AFC playoffs is because Josh Allen is the front runner for the MVP. But I do believe the Broncos could steal one. The Broncos can steal one in Buffalo. They're going to have to come back and probably go to KC in 2 weeks. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's enjoy going to the playoffs for the first time in 10 years. Courtland Sutton hit 1,000 yards for the season. Bonus incentive. 1,000 yards, you get more money. Courtland Sutton is one of those pieces Sean Payton kept. Because if you remember Sean Payton, if he didn't bring you in here, he was getting you out of here. Russ, you're out of here. Justin Simmons, sorry. But Courtland Sutton, he hit that incentive. has never been to the playoffs. I believe he was drafted in 2017. So 8 years in the league of simply losing for Justin Simmons. Also, Garrett Bowles, one of those veteran players for the Denver Broncos who had experience prior to this year. Nothing but losing. Big Garrett Bowles, number 72. Both of these guys over the offseason were involved in trade talks. But now they're staples. They're leaders in the locker room. It feels good. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you. It feels good that the Broncos are back where really they should always be. It's competing for a Super Bowl. And the last 10 years was, it was really carried by the Denver Nuggets, who we'll talk about later in the show. But, yeah, they have to go to Buffalo and place Josh Allen. And the only way they get this done, last year, the Buffalo Bills ran for nearly 200 yards against the Broncos. That can't happen this year. The Broncos won that game, but that cannot happen this year. And the Broncos running game needs to get going. Only 513 yards all season for Javonte Williams. It's not good enough. All season, the Broncos hadn't had a 100-yard rusher. That's not going to get the job done this week in Buffalo. It's going to be cold. It's going to be gritty. They're going to need to run the ball. Jaleel McLaughlin, Javonte Williams, they have to find a way. They have to find... Where's Phillip at? Phillip, suit up. He'll beat 100 for us. Shout out Phillip Lindsay, but he's not here to do that for us. So Javonte, Jaleel, Bo Nix, we're going to have to run that rock. We're not going to be able to sling it for 370 yards and 4 touchdowns like you did yesterday. But we're here. And that defense, they finished the year with 63 sacks, most sack leaders on all of NFL, number 1 sack team. I just want to give a shout out, or I just want to shine some light on Sean Payton retaining Vance Joseph as a defensive coordinator, because Vance knows his stuff. Last year, with the Dolphins, put up 70 points on this Vance Joseph defense. They simply turned it around. Props to Sean for not getting Vance up out of here. Props to Vance for looking at his personnel and saying, hey, this is not going to work. 70 points in the game is not going to work. We're going to do this. And it's working. And the spread is 10 points. The odds makers expect Buffalo to blow out. I consider a blowout anything more than 2 possessions. 2 possessions and up is a blowout. 24-14. Okay, but more than that, it's a blowout. 2 touchdowns, it's a blowout. I don't see it happening. I do see the Broncos pulling this one out. They just have to contain Josh Allen. That is the only piece. Mind you, the Denver Broncos passed on Josh Allen in the draft. So having to see him in the playoffs probably hurts. Good thing they have their quarterback of the future now. But yes, where were you 10 years ago? Hopefully not the same spot you are in now. But the Broncos are finally back to the NFL playoffs. Whew. I thought, I'm not going to lie, I thought had the Chiefs played their starters, the Broncos had the opportunity 3 times in a row to secure their playoff spot. I didn't think it was going to happen. I'm not going to lie. I lost faith. I said, oh, they're going to blow it like they do every year. Had a shot to make the playoffs last year. They blew it. They didn't blow it this year. Thank the man upstairs. Because we are back. The only person with playoff experience on this team is Sean Payton, unfortunately. I don't know if that gets the job done. The players get the job done, but his experience should win us this ball game. I'm not saying we're going to go win the Super Bowl or go to the AFC Championship, but I do believe the Broncos have a shot against the Buffalo Bills just based off how their teams are built. That Broncos defense is real. They got Riley Moss back. Cracker with the juice. Pat Surtain on the other side. Nick Bonito, 14 sacks this year. They're built to beat the Buffalo Bills. Shout out to Denver Broncos. And hopefully this is a start of another run. I believe it was the longest drought in Denver sports history of the Broncos not making the playoffs. 10 straight years. Unbelievable. But they're back, and we're moving on to the Denver Nuggets. Whew. They are number 4 in the Western Conference nowadays. Like I said, November, December, it was not looking good for the Denver Nuggets. However, they are number 4 in the Western Conference, 20 wins. They play the Boston Celtics tomorrow, so this will actually be a real test. The Boston Celtics favorites to win it all, even though the Cleveland Cavaliers are right there. Big time game here at Ball Arena. Get tickets if you can. It's going to be one of those games, playoff-like atmosphere. Our glorious Nikola Jokic is putting up ridiculous stat lines again, averaging 30-plus points, 10 rebounds, nearly 10 assists. And shout out to this man right here, Russell Westbrook. When he starts for the Denver Nuggets, so he starts at the 1, they move Jamal to the 2, keep the rest the same. The Nuggets are winning games. I believe they're 9-2. That may have changed since my research. But he's second on the team in assists versus Jokic. It's funny, if you go on ESPN and you look at the Denver Nuggets stats, you see Jokic. They just blast Jokic's face, just showing how good he is. But this man, Russell Westbrook, is the piece we didn't know the Denver Nuggets needed. And it's working. I don't know how long Michael Malone will continue testing Russ in the starting lineup, But that's his rightful spot. The operation runs smoother. Jokic plays a more expanded role when Russell is in because he's taking on, these are the triple-double kings right here. Russell is taking on more of a role for Nikola Jokic, which in turn makes the Denver Nuggets better. I have people in my ear. They call me. There's a guy I seen at Chick-fil-A. I have no idea who he is. He's in my ear. He watches the show. Shout out you. He's like, we got to let Jamal go. No, if Jamal and Michael Porter Jr. could average their 20, they're both averaging 19 point something. If they could both average 20, and then we'll get the rest from Russell and Nikola, that is a recipe. Christian Braun coming off the bench is giving us 15. That is a recipe. What we seen earlier in the year was a fluke. It's just pieces trying to gel together, and they're finally gelling together. Big time game versus the Boston Celtics. It'll tell us a lot about this Nuggets team in this game tomorrow. It'll show us where they're at as a team, if they're real competitors, because the Boston Celtics are competitors. Matter of fact, they're the champions, so it's a good test. It's a good way to see where we're at in the league. If we are one of those play-in seeds where we were early December, or if we're actually the top dogs we were 2 years ago. Number 4 in the Western Conference. Shout out Nikola Jokic. Like, What do people say? The glorious King J? No, it's the glorious Joker at the moment. He's doing it all. MVP frontrunner again, which is unbelievable considering he could have won it the last 3-4 years. But yeah, here we are. The Nuggets have turned it around. The Denver Broncos are in the playoffs. And the Colorado Avalanche. Woo-hoo! They were looking bad. They got the goalie up out of there. If you go back a couple episodes, I was telling you guys, the goalie, he's not it. You can't give up 6 goals a game in hockey. That's a touchdown a game. You can't give that up. They got rid of him, traded him. The MVP, Nathan McKinnon, he's doing his thing. Nico Rantanen, he's doing his thing. The Colorado Avalanche went 10-3 in the month of December. So they're turning it around. Titletown is back, dare I say. I don't know. But the Avalanche has turned it around. They are 6th in the West in the National Hockey League. Yeah, it was looking, whew. Y'all see me on the, go look at the tape. I was nervous. I was nervous for the Nuggets and the Avalanche. I didn't know if the Broncos would make the playoffs just because the Chiefs were playing good, the Chargers were playing good. 3 teams usually don't make it from the same division, but hey, we're here. Chargers are in, Broncos are in. Chiefs got the bye. Yeah, but the Chiefs don't scare me, so Broncos, go win that game against Buffalo. Then I believe you'll have the Chiefs. You know them well. Anyway, back at it. Titletown. I just like the sound of that. MVP City. Nathan McKinnon. Jokic is back. Where are we? Oh. After Travis Hunter won the MVP, the bowl game didn't look so good. Deion Sanders and his boys, I don't know, it looked like they were on some type of vacation going into the bowl game against BYU. BYU flexed their muscles. BYU seen the game as an opportunity to show the College Football Playoff Committee they had made a mistake, but BYU didn't take care of business. All that's in the past. It's over. It is over. It was a glorious, it was a fun 2 years with Deion Sanders and his son and Travis Hunter and all the guys he brought in with him. But it's over. This man is moving on to these guys, they're moving on to the NFL. Projected number 1 pick, Shedeur Sanders, has Tennessee Titans fans with bags on their face. And his picture on the bag, ready. Suck for Shedeur. The Tennessee Titans may get one of them ones. Not sure where the Heisman Trophy winner will end up. In the top 5, I don't really see a fit for this man, Travis Hunter. But I'm sure he'll go top 10 at least. I don't see a fit in the top 5 for him. But yeah, it is Julian Lewis or the transfer from Liberty's turn. I'm not sure which way Deion Sanders is going, but I just wanted to go over that. It's the end of an era at Colorado. It's not an end of a Deion Sanders primetime era. I expect the sidelines to sideline. I expect the celebrities to still pop out. They got the number 1 recruit in all of the nation and the freshman Julian Lewis. They got a Liberty quarterback who has one of them. It's like a rocket attached to his shoulder. We'll see how the training camp or summer, spring plays out at the quarterback position for CU. But shout out Shedeur. Shout out Travis. Shout out the Shark. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what that Buffalo team looks like Buffaloes look like next year. Excuse me. Whew. That being said, let's pull up our rankings for the boys basketball high school hardwood. We have Rangeview High School. I'll let you guys know my graphics not fluid. However, you guys can see Rangeview moves from 6th to number 1. They're beating their opponents by nearly 50 points a game. So Ralston Valley, they're 7-0, and they were preseason number 1. But they have some close games. Rangeview, they're not playing. I'm telling you. Go out and watch this team. LaDavian King, the freshman, Marcellus Duncan. They're game time. They're like, in college they were like, oh, he's league. He's pro. These guys, these guys are ready. And Marcellus is only a freshman. So these are the rankings. Smoky Hill not doing so good after being number 2 in the preseason rankings. They're 5-6, so they've dropped out of the top 25 nearly. They're not even in it at the moment. It's a long season, basketball. They can't turn it around. However, it's because of this one guy, Sean Palmer. And shout out Rangeview High School, the loyalty they are showing this man. Even in a bad season, they're not moving on from him. Since 2003, he's been leading that program, won the whole thing in 2019. And he's sending guys to college. He is developing guys. Shout out Sean Palmer for Rangeview. He has those guys rolling number 1 in all of the state in every metric. It's Sean Palmer. Shout out him. I can only find his yearbook picture. You know, he's a selfless guy. All of the pictures I seen with Sean, he's with somebody else. So we got the yearbook picture of him. Shout out Rangeview number 1. If you can, go check them out. They play tomorrow, I believe, at Rangeview. $5 to go watch some really good players who will be playing at the next level come 2025, 2026. But yes, here we are in a new season. It's 2025. The Broncos are in the playoffs. The Denver Nuggets, they're rolling. Yeah, rolling. I might swerve through that corner. The Avalanche have turned it around. They got rid of the problem. And I'm seeing it's the same thing in a lot of these organizations we're talking about. Rangeview retaining their head coach year after year. That's loyalty right there. That's how you build a program. The Avalanche seeing where the problem is and getting rid of the problem, that is how you run a program or an organization. Michael Malone, people were calling for his job. Starting Russell Westbrook, that is seeing the problem and addressing the problem. Sean Payton, he got all the losers out of there. Unfortunately, Russell Wilson was losing in his time in Denver. Mr. Unlimited, I'm a fan, but he was losing. Get him out of here. So that's the spirit we need to be in 2025. If you see a problem in your life, fix that problem. Do not let that problem continue to allow you to lose people. Okay? Thank you for watching. I have a promo, if we could play it. Yeah, it's 2025. Happy New Year, everyone. Watch my promo. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment. Give me a star. Let's see if we can run that.
Happy New Year, everyone. It's Trayvon McKinney, your host of Hello Colorado. On the behalf of everyone here at our network, thank you. We appreciate your continued support throughout the year, and we look forward to bringing you with us into 2025. Like, follow, and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube, and be sure to catch Hello Colorado every Monday at 3 p.m. for your local high school hardwood coverage, Denver Broncos, Nuggets, and Avalanche playoff pushes. Also, in the new year, we are looking to have guest appearances, so coaches, players, or even owners contact me directly via Facebook or on Instagram at BigBombBomb1. And as always, we're not just for the people, we are the people.
Tell me what you guys think. Shout out Domo for putting that thing together in honor of the legend, the record breaker. I'ma do the shadur. Send him on his way to the NFL draft. Come back next week, Monday, same time, 3:30. And mess with your boy. Peace.